Marisa, thanks very much for doing this interview. So, how do you feel about the first month of this disastrous presidency?
So can I cuss? It's a shitstorm. It's a coup. Is basically what it is. So I do the media and communications for a group called Longmont Area Democrats. We've been around for 22 years now. And back in January, I was thinking this morning, back in January of 2024, we did a presentation on Project 2025. I had read an article by Ahmed Baba on Substack about it, and that article actually came out a couple months before. So he was the first person who was actually really talking about it. So we did a presentation at our January meeting, and it was amazing. It almost felt like we were talking about some sort of weird conspiracy stuff, but we believed it. We knew it was happening because we had done a report on the Koch brothers Heritage Foundation years and years. I think it was back in 2014 that we talked about the Koch brothers. So we knew it was real. We knew it was serious. And so we started, and we had done presentations during the first Trump administration about threats to democracy. And so that was, connecting with authors like Timothy Snyder, of course, writing on tyranny. If people haven't gotten that, they should get it. Very foundational. Ruth Ben-Ghiat, Masha Getzen, all of these amazing historians, and of course, Heather Cox Richardson is incredible. So, but it really didn't blow up on social media until last summer. And interestingly, it was within that 3-week period between the really bad debate performance from Biden and when he stepped away and Harris was the candidate. It was right in that window of 3 weeks that everybody's talking about Project 2025 all of a sudden. And I thought this was perfect. It was absolutely prescient and so important. But then things went the way that they did, and here we are. So,
Going downhill rapidly.
yes, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've said it to, I think, every guest that we've interviewed. They managed to turn America into a laughingstock in just 4 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? It's up to us. Democracies are always under threat. And the thing that, kind of just like settled with me was the fact that 90 million people did not vote in 2024. 90 million people. And so U.S. News and World Report had a whole thing about people not voting. This goes back election after election. 2012, I think it was 87 million didn't vote. 2016, close to 100 million didn't vote. 2020, again, it's back around the 90 million mark. And so if we could get 5 million more people consistently engaged, showing up at things like this, we could right the ship. We could get our democracy back on track again. But of course, right now, we've got to rely on the courts. We've got to rely on, not blaming each other, but asking ourselves, have we done enough? Obviously, we haven't done enough. And I've been doing this for a long time, and I have not done enough. And so, my parents, we have to look at how we grew up. My dad served in World War II. He was a POW with the Japanese for 3.5 years. He survived all of that. Ended up in Italy, met my mom, who had grown up during World War II. They saw fascism. They saw imperialism. They saw all of that stuff. And we defeated it. And we've forgotten. And so here we are. Yeah.
Totally forgot. It's funny you should mention about the non-voters. I honestly believe that one of the biggest problems is how complex the ballots have become. And I think people open the envelope, look at it, I'll fill that out later.
Well, you're talking to somebody who's been the designer of the Boulder County Dems Vote Your Whole Ballot Blue Voter Guide. And so the thing is that, a ballot language is just unnerving and just crazy. It's just amazing. Also, the kind of nefarious groups that are out there that kind of figure out a way to pay petition gatherers to put enough signatures together that they put it on the ballot, and then they make it very strange language. Okay. So the thing is that it's about voter education. And it happens every single month of the year as you lead up. We've got elections this year. We've got school boards and city council elections. So if every year you're doing something to kind of educate yourself about what's going to be on the ballot, you kind of have a relationship with the ballot. You have this, you protect the ballot. You want to, and we've got a fantastic mail-in ballot voting system here in Colorado, which, by the way, our county clerk, the previous county clerk, Hillary Hall, helped draft the legislation that made the mail-in ballot law in Colorado. So we're very, very lucky, but we've got to protect our right to that ballot. So, yeah, ballots are complicated, but I think if we just kind of like keep informing ourselves, it's really not that bad.
I tend to agree with you, but in the UK, when they're voting, you don't have 1,000 questions to answer. You've got one. Who do you want to vote for your MP?
Yeah.
End of story.
Right.
Very simple.
Mm-hmm. They also have National Health Service. They have many things in England that, and the National Health Service being kind of implemented in 1948. Truman tried to have a national health care plan in 1948. So in other words, all of these things that are important to having a healthy democracy so that people are, cared for, that we're sharing our resources, responsibly and all that kind of stuff. All of those things are possible. And so we just need to kind of stay engaged and protect our democracy, and we should be in good shape.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview.
You bet. My pleasure. Nice to talk to you, Nigel.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Nigel Aves, host of Rational Alchemy. It's President's Day 2025 here in snowy Longmont, Colorado. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio for the next interviews. Bye for now.